I am making an alien-themed survival horror multiplayer map in Fortnite Creative that you will be able to play with your friends eventually. So I've spent a long time making this map so far, probably close to a week, and as I continue to work on the design and add more complex mechanics and the environment, I figured I'd bring you guys along just to show you my creative thought process and the progress of the map as I come closer to finishing it. So there's a bit of a story to um, how I started making this map and the history that leads up to it. So this video is going to be split into 3 separate parts. Part 1 is going to be detailing the history. Part 2 is going to have the vision and what's in progress right now, what I'm currently working on. And part 3 is going to be the future to give you guys kind of like a roadmap of where things are going with the development. So yeah, let's get into it. So if you guys like this change in content, like this direction, I'd encourage you to like and subscribe and comment. That tells me if I'm doing a good job, so I can learn from feedback and keep going forward with the stuff that the content that I like making and the stuff that you like watching. So thanks. So it all started a long time ago. I think the video is around 5 years old. Laserbeam made a video called the Michael Myers Challenge. I think it was called like the first horror mode in Fortnite, and it was so simple. It was just a giant maze with a bunch of doors. The hiders in it were all one shot, and then the quote-unquote Michael Myers had a hunting rifle, so it just go around trying to find the hiders with the hunting rifle. It was a really good video. I really liked it. So a little while after that video came out, I played that with a bunch of friends. If I managed to be able to get a hold of the live stream video, I'll show it. It wasn't from my perspective, but that was the earliest trace of me and my friends ever playing this type of game mode. We ended up really liking it. We had a lot of fun. So fast forward a little while after Creative comes out, and right here, this is one of the first things I ever made in Creative. As you know, Creative, when it came out, it completely changed the whole game of what we expected from Fortnite and what playing games with our friends meant. So with this idea in mind of being able to create experiences that I could play with my friends, it was thrilling to say the least. I made a bunch of these maps, but it all started with this one. So if you look inside, it's really bare bones. It's the same basic gameplay mechanics of going around. The alien, quote unquote, had a hunting rifle, just running around to shoot. I varied it a little bit. I made little corridors like this where it's just 1x2 area to give it just a little bit of variety. There's a room like this. I made it like a little hospital area, so I wanted to change it, so it just wasn't a maze with doors, because that was kind of boring. And around this time too, I played Alien Isolation for the first time, which if you're gonna see later, definitely inspired a lot of what this current map that I'm working on is gonna be. One thing that I took from that and making this whole map alien themed was these areas up here. So in Alien Isolation, the alien can just go up into a vent, just crawl up into a vent, and it's like in the air ducts above you and moving around. You can hear it sometimes, and it was really scary and really cool. So what I decided to do was make little just areas above. The crew wouldn't be able to get up to these areas, and the alien would have low gravity, so they could just jump up here. So I made these areas, and you can trying to make that effect of being up in the air ducts above you, not knowing where it's going to come down. And it was cool. It worked for a while. And yeah, so I went on to completely, in this map, revamp the vent system. So that is definitely going to be really cool. I think it's going to be leagues better than what this is. It had to start somewhere, and this is very roughly where it started. So the whole reason it's alien themed anyway, it's because at the time I hadn't really seen any Michael Myers movies. I thought how thematically I can fit in like a bunch of winding corridors and a bunch of doors was happened to be my favorite movie of all time, and that's Alien. So I themed it after that, and I mean the rest is history, really. A little Easter egg, by the way. This was the first glimpse that I wanted to tell a story was this room right here. So this was supposed to be like a little like testing facility. This hospital chair is knocked over, or like the bed thingy, and right here, this wasn't originally there. This was supposed to be a vent. I only took it out is because players, like crew members, were jumping from here onto the door and then up. They were able to travel into the ducts, so that wasn't good, so I took it out. But this was largely where I started. There's the evidence that I wanted to tell a greater story moving forward. So I mean, these maps were, I think I could safely say they were a hit with the friend group. Everyone wanted to play them. We were having a good time. During quarantine, we spent probably hours, even after midnight, just playing these maps just because they were fun, and I got a lot of genuine joy out of that. Creating an experience for people and sharing it is something that I really found out that I enjoyed through making these little maps. And what greater tool to empower me than Fortnite Creative, you know? So this kept going, the concept kept moving forward. I made 3 or 4 maps. But the one thing that always felt short in every map that I only realized after a while was there was, just like in the original laser beam video, there's a time objective. All you had to do was survive, and that ended up just looking really boring by the end. Like it was fun with people being here, but it ended up looking really boring by the end. It ended up kind of the same way. The like one guy in like a really obscure hiding spot. Maybe they did it so the doors were like that, and they ended up hiding behind there. It was really campy, and it wasn't what I had in mind for the vision of it. That brings us to where we are today. Let me show you. Okay, so I have here, I brought it into Microsoft Paint so I can just explain it quickly and not have to travel around the map. This is the current map for what I'm working on. If you'll notice, obviously it's not a square maze. There's different points of interest, and the biggest difference and departure from the other maps gameplay loops is it is objective based and not timed. The idea is that the crew is going to start right here in this area. This is going to be their safe space. So the alien cannot enter this area at all. They're completely safe here, and your crew and your team is safe. They're going to go out. There's an entry point there, an entry point. There's a vent that goes downward. There's a little under part of the map, and they're going to collect parts scattered around the map. They're just going to be little collectibles, like gears and stuff, just scattered about, that they're going to need to collect and bring back to crew controls and deposit in. I made little things that you can deposit it into. It creates more interesting gameplay, in my opinion. So the alien is trying to stop you. Whoever's playing the alien is going to try to stop you as your team is collecting parts. And to break down the overall vision one by one, so there's gonna be 3 main points of interest, which is this synthetic maintenance. Actually, it's gonna be more like that big-ish. Synthetic maintenance. There's the medical facility, and then communications. The crew controls is gonna have tools to help the crew, especially mainly being the ability to open doors around the map from this room. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna encourage that a player stays here on your team in the crew controls. Maybe I'm thinking like Phasmophobia, where there's a heart rate monitor and the cameras in the truck. I think Lethal Company does it too. But yeah, there's gonna be big blocked off doors that the crew is gonna need to open. I think there's like you can enter the medical from the basement there, and then I'm gonna make this still needs to be modeled. I'm gonna make a part going out here. So these areas in particular are going to have quests attached to them. There's gonna be NPCs you can talk to right there, and I think right here, that are going to give you quests that have to do with the region of the map specifically. By the way, you guys are gonna have to really bear with me here. I gotta just get the core mechanics in your mind before we continue. So these NPCs, so yeah, there are area quests, and once that like big quest is triggered, and once it starts, it's going to trigger a lockdown. What a lockdown does, it's going to permanently shut the doors for the respective area, so the crew or the crew members in that area cannot leave. Now, what this is going to do, it's going to attract an alien. Whoever's on the alien team is going to be aware of whatever quest is started, whatever lockdown is happening at that moment. So there's going to be so the crew is locked in a region where they need to complete a quest, and the alien knows exactly where they are. I haven't tested it yet, but that is the goal right now, and that's going to create, I think, a really cool gameplay dynamic akin to something like Alien Isolation, obviously. So for the map, the design, I did a lot of research on. There's videos of Alien Isolation and the developers of what went into their map design, that looping, a lot of no dead ends. Having no dead ends was really important for the design to encourage like cat and mouse hunting type of gameplay. And I couldn't go off of everything they said, obviously, because unlike an artificial intelligence that's design is mostly curated to a single player experience, there's another person hunting you instead of an alien. So I have to keep that in mind while developing the map and the design as well, but we're not there yet. So this all is basically my vision for is basically the vision for the map, and I wanted to show you this in the in progress section because you need to have this design philosophy in mind when I go over to show you the actual map, which I'm going to do right now. This is it, and what I have right now. Obviously you can see the areas looking like the map. You can get a sense of scale, where the doors are going to be. I wanted to outline it, most importantly keep the ceilings open so I could keep customizing the map and look at it from come up here and look at it from the top. Try my best to organize the rooms this way, and I think it works. I'm not completely finished, obviously, right there and there. It just needs a little bit of work, but I got the bulk of it. As far as design goes, the crew is going to spawn here. This is one of the only parts I have almost fully modeled. There's a part in medical that I'm going to show you later that I've kind of started to develop, but that I'm going to ask you guys for help for because I think I'm stumped. We'll get to that. So this is going to be one entrance to the map, and right here is going to be the other. What you're going to do is you're just going to jump into this rift and you'll be down in the basement area, and all the crew needs to do when they want to go back up from here is just jump and they'll pop out here. So I was really proud when I figured that out, because that took a little bit of trial and error. Here is the crew control segment where the player that's staying here is recommended to be. You have the door controls are going to be here. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that yet. And here's the motion tracker, so it's just going to show up wherever the alien is. It's just going to, that name is just going to pop up, and it's going to update with the billboards. And as far as mechanics go right now, let's see, so I started the game. There's going to be a prep timer, as you can see at the top, for just the crew to get in order, to get their places. I don't know if I'm going to make stuff you can pick up here. And once that the prep timer goes down, all the doors are going to unlock. The other one's there's going to be a big door right here that's going to unlock, and I'm going to allow you to go into the vents so the game can start. So you're going to have 10 minutes right now. That's going to change probably. So mechanically in the crew control area, besides the base mechanics, this is what I'm most proud of and what I'm going to show you. I know fans of the movie will recognize this is going to serve a gameplay purpose. As you can see right here, it's just going to say greetings, your player name, and it's just going to provide you with the tips and stuff that I'm going to add. But I know not everyone's going to get it at first. So it says, on which subjects would you like to familiarize yourself with? There's going to be, right now there's only main areas and the motion tracker. These are there for if I decide there's something that needs clarification in the future. So if you click motion trackers, you're wondering about that. Located in the crew control room, the motion tracker is used to keep track of crew members and synthetics, as routine maintenance can sometimes scatter workers. And then down here it says motion tracker status operational and disabled for crew and synthetic identification, because it's not going to be able to track you, and synthetics are not players. It doesn't make sense if I don't explain it, so I kind of wanted to tie it in lore wise. So if you click what is it tracking, it says records show a member of the science division has manually disabled the motion tracker to identify signals of crew or synthetics. This action goes against protocol, and the member in question is to be disciplined on arrival back to the colony. So you see here, it's coming back. my need to tell a story and to tie everything together. I know realistically, not many people are going to use this room at all, because it doesn't matter to the gameplay. But I want it here because I'm passionate about it, and I want to make sure it all makes sense. And if people want to look deeper into it, they can, and they'll be rewarded. So if you click synthetics, I even go into explaining them. Synthetics are human-like androids designed to assist the crew in any way needed. So you see, look right here. However, due to a system malfunction, the remaining synthetics aboard the vessel are locked in the synthetic maintenance area. Travel to this area is not advised, as the area is highly dangerous. So there's going to be, I'm going to make roaming guards up in that synthetic maintenance area. So that's going to be like that area's gimmick, is they're going to be guards patrolling that. Obviously if they see you, they're going to shoot, and that's going to make a lot of noise, and it's probably going to damage you, and then the alien's going to be there. So it's going to create an interesting avenue for gameplay. So another lore-wise thing I made is this button down here. It just says, what's the story? It does not compute. If you're into the movie, obviously you're gonna know what all this is, but if you're not, I'm just gonna spare you. So just this right here is directly from the movie. Just like a little Easter egg for people that are willing to look further. Again, it's like, what are my chances? Does not compute. And then this is gonna happen. You're gonna get achievements. There are achievements in the game. I don't know if I'm gonna make them for a lot, but I know I want to make a few. So if you're willing to look deeper, to explore the map to its fullest extent, I want to make sure you're rewarded for that. I'm gonna give you XP obviously as well, and there's gonna be these scattered around the map. I'm gonna write a bunch of like little emails, just like the game Alien Isolation. There are these little terminals that you can examine and read up a little bit if you want, and they're not mandatory, and that's really the best thing about them. Also, in terms of what I have now is like the base mechanics. These parts are going to be the parts that you're able to collect and are scattered around the map. I still need to work on that, and I definitely want to make them randomized, so they're not the same set locations every time. I want to make them varied, so your gameplay, each game feels a little different in a way. And then these are going to be in the crew controls, so you can deposit them, and there's a tracker to keep track of which ones are done. And these are the NPCs that you're going to be able to talk to. Still working on those. Really, they're on the back burner right now because that's a lot of work that goes into them. The mechanics for the alien, this is tied into when I was talking about the events earlier. There's going to be these around the map just for the alien. The crew cannot use these. They're going to just be able to jump up. They're going to be teleported to this room. Obviously you can see it's away from the map, so the crew is going to have no idea where the alien goes when they use these vents. And there's going to be, I'm going to lay out the map on the floor here, and there's going to be corresponding buttons to activate rifts so you can be sent back onto the map. Kind of like how in the game works. It's going to be it's going to feel really random, and it's going to catch you off guard. I mean, a good alien player is going to catch the crew off guard with the vents that they use, and I think it's going to be really dynamic the way that this mechanic is going to work. So I'm really excited for that. So this is something extra. This isn't really like pertinent to the game at all, but I just wanted to add a little something because I was messing around with the new mechanics that was added since I last played and made something in creative, which is a long time ago. So come in here, and there's going to be a camera. There's going to be a little game, like a little intro sequence, probably going to be like 4 or 5 seconds. It's going to show the title, and then, you know, because that's sick as hell. Whoever's on the alien team is going to be here, so obviously if you're wearing like Peter Griffin or something, it's going to look a little worse. I just thought that was insane, the fact that I could just like, there's a xenomorph in Fortnite. Like when these skins came out, I bought the Ripley one too, because obviously. But this was like, it was a dream come true for me. After that, I made another map. So yeah, I was beyond excited. So now I think I'm gonna use the player reference again at some point. So I mean, in the future, just know that whenever there's a player reference and I have this skin in mind, so this sound is gonna play. It sounds very much very alien-y, very much like something you would hear in the movie or hear in the game. So I was really excited that I found that sound. Time to talk about the future of this map. Obviously, there's a lot to work on, a lot of design, and a lot of polishing and finishing up mechanics, which leads me to this right here. I want to make sure that everything, at least as much as I have control over, is made authentic and believable. I started modeling this, the medical segment. You're gonna come over here, you're gonna talk to this NPC. If you played Alien Isolation, some like very similar thing, but I'm just not sold on this. I think when I use the primitive shapes, it looks they look flat and very uninteresting. If you compare it to what I have now modeled, I just used props that I found, and it looks very believable and lived in and authentic. And with these shapes, it doesn't look as much like that, which is my one concern. So yeah, this area over here, I tried to keep going with it to maybe like I added like a little vent thing here. I used those props. I tried my best to keep going with it to see if it looked any better, because obviously the corridors and the architecture in Alien Isolation is very unique. I wanted to try my best to bring that to Fortnite Creative, and I don't really think I'm doing that much with these primitive shapes. So I want to make the terrain, I want to make the levels look varied enough so it doesn't look like you're in the same place the whole time, and I want to make it look authentic as well. So I kind of want to strike that balance. So if you have any advice that you can offer pertaining to that, about maybe props I could use, building techniques, anything that would help, anything across the whole map that you have suggestions for, just throw in a little comment. It'll be greatly appreciated. So yeah, I will definitely be sure to update everyone as my progress on this continues. I basically made this video to motivate me in a way, maybe seeing what you guys think, and keeping a journal of sorts about how it's going in the progress, to keep this theme going in a sense, and make my vision come to life, I guess, because this is the closest it's gotten, and I don't want to stop now. Definitely want to prove to myself that bringing such a unique experience that Alien Isolation brings to Fortnite with your friends, I want to prove that that's possible, and to bring forward my vision of this game. So any way you guys can help, I'd appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, thanks for watching.